All right, Chi-Town, Inglewood, Cali. We should be live now. Mouthpiece included. This one's ode to a giant, social giant, a ring fiend, my late frat brother in Chapter Invisible, Big Bill Russell. Yo, we got some other great hot topics. We're going to be talking about Deshaun Watson. We got some Bears camp news. Um, Terrell Owens and Karen. A lot of stuff to unpack here tonight on Mouthpiece included. We will be dropping the link into the chat, so any of you cats can feel free, if you still got your cojones or cojonettes, pull up, slide through. Phone lines will be open, 424-900-6945, 424-900-6945. You can text commentary or you can call in. Don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. Stand by. Take care of some business. TATN, TATN, Mouthpiece included. TATN, TATN.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research.
Like, share, subscribe.
Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of girls?
Okay, I'm in my local Ralph's, and this happened.
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can
Man, where do they keep the honey around here?
God is a fan of the
Excuse me, you know where the honey is?
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like
Oh,
a gaggle of
jeez,
girls?
Al.
The Bears.
Who wants cheese head?
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can stay on my couch because God is a fan of
The Bears. Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of girls? The Bears.
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can stay on my couch because God is a fan of
The Bears. Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a...
Well, guys, let's go to the swimming pool. Let's go take a shower. Let's go water skiing.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
There he is.
Be sure to bring a towel so you don't get
Don't forget to
all
bring
wet.
your mouthpiece. Silverback's in the building. And another hot edition of Mouthpiece included. Big ups to Bill Russell. Rest up, my brother. We're going to get to that real soon. This whole show is ode to a giant. It's ode to a champion. My big brother, Bill Russell, who's all of our big brothers. Yes, sir. All right, so today's show format, as always, we're going to go with some how about them Bears? We got some camp news. They put the pads on. Everybody's excited. There's a Hall of Fame game going on now, I think. So I think we got a couple things on the Bulls. Yeah, we do. Their potential roster that they're going to start out with. We'll talk about their potential starting five. Cubs, Sox, very quick hits. We'll probably just talk about the Sox. And then we're going to shoot through our hot topics. Brittany Griner, Deshaun Johnson. We got, Deshaun Jackson, Handy J. And we got some more to talk about. But the hottest topic this week is rest in peace, ode to Bill Russell, champion. He got 2 rings on his pinky. 11 and 13 years. First melanated coach. But before we jump on all that, let's go ahead and get the resident Silverback in the building. Jackie Robinson's finest. TATN. What it do, Ace? What down?
What it do? Happy Thursday to all. My voice is a little raspy because I've been indulging in a little air conditioning. Watching boys play baseball. So, everything's all good. Happy Thursday from the shop.
That'll do it. Give us some banter on, I got me some hot tea, man, because I was having some of the same thing. Wish I had some whiskey to put in it. Can we say whiskey? But give us some banter on what the week is like. And did your boys play? The big boys play? J-Dub?
Yeah, the big boys went to the state tournament down in Rock Falls, Illinois. So, the love for them was limited. Rock Falls, downstate Illinois. Won the first game. Second game, they lost by 2, and they were eliminated by run differential.
Wow.
Yeah, so, the parents thought it was all pool play, and then you go into the elimination round. For this particular state tournament, which I haven't seen before, there was no double elimination. After one loss, we weren't playing the next game. It must have something to do with numbers of teams playing. There were 8 teams playing. Won our first game, lost the second game by 2. Season's over. Rules change every turn. For some reason now, Little League, like in our tournament, it was the first ever doubleheader in a sectional tournament game. I've been coaching for 20, 30 years at doubleheader, which didn't help our young 11 and 12-year-olds. Hey, you got to get stronger. You got to get better. Your mind's got to get tougher. So we'll be ready for next year. So our kids got eliminated. So it's the season, as far as the league tournament, is over for our juniors and our majors. Getting ready for next year. Fall ball starts in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll get them next year. And big ups, Stace, dude. I see you out there. Big ups.
Yeah. Dude is in the building.
Yeah, fool. So we had NFL legend, Hall of Famer, first ballot, or it should have been. I think they pinked him out of that. But one of the greatest receivers of all times. He was in his homeowners association area, motoring to his mailbox, and a Karen decided to just, to mother him and shout at him to slow down and etc. So I'll give a little background. So Terrell went live and then decided to, she was with her husband. Yeah, so he got out to address what her problem was, and she called 12.
Give him autograph?
Yeah, well, 12 shows up. Give me your ID.
Yeah.
There was another witness out there because the Karen was alleging that T.O. was speeding, and the witness said she was in a garage, the man wasn't speeding, and said he ran a stop sign, and there isn't a stop sign there, and even had the tenacity to say, you're a big black man walking up on a white woman, and he had to point out, but you were with your husband.
Right. Her story of the events.
Yeah. What's your take on that, Ace?
Well, it's, I don't know. I mean, she probably doesn't see T.O. often. because he's all over the country doing all kind of things to take care of his family and pay for his home. Well, she can just sit there and watch and see the Mercedes come down the street and be like, oh, wait a minute. He's speeding. He almost ran me over. He almost hit the dog. You almost took out one of the kids.
I forgot about that. Yeah, she said he hit her, is what she said.
Oh,
to
wow.
get 12 out there so they can come in hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that.
It was a big black guy in an expensive car.
He hit me with his car, yeah.
My gosh. I mean, come on, man. It's 2022. He doesn't know. Her husband has to know. That can get this man killed. Whether they knew
She
it
knew it.
was or not.
She knew it. That's why she kept playing I'm the white woman, innocent white woman card.
Yeah. Well,
Why wasn't she arrested or given a ticket for lying to police and making false charges? I think he could have demanded that. I would have demanded that.
well, I mean, unfortunately, some people that aren't in the know put themselves on the defensive. He started answering questions right away. He gave him his ID right away
Mm-hmm.
instead of demanding his own rights.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a player with the tenure of a TO should have a lawyer on speed dial or agent or somebody that can give him good counsel, hopefully a friend, and tell him, hey, give him anything, tell him what the events that transpired that you want to tell him, or not, don't tell him anything. And then demand this woman to get arrested for filing a false claim to get you guys out here. And you got a witness right there who saw the whole thing.
Independent witness. And her husband didn't even corroborate her story. He wasn't even there like, no, he was speeding.
Yeah. Because he knew his wife was being over dramatic, or,
Yeah.
maybe he had kicked the dog earlier and he wanted to get her in trouble, get in trouble with her. But come on, man, it's 2022. This has got to stop. Karen, stop.
Yeah, she made a comment about how, so she apparently knew who he was because she made a comment about how he's living in that poor neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the independent witness was like, you got $1 million house. And he's like, yeah, and I got another one too. Like, she was suggesting he's a failure somehow because he's living there amongst the normies,
Yeah. He should be in a $10 million house
Uh-huh.
while he's retired.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's society, and the Karen's trying to judge he should be doing, or how soon he should pay his bills, or how soon he should be paying the HOA years in advance, or whatever the hell they want him to do with his money. It's just gossip, of course, among all the Karens in the HOA who have nothing to do, and it matriculated into this event, which she probably was looking forward to seeing him, so she can start something like this. So, Karen, stop it. Get a life. Do something else. But leave the black man alone.
Yeah, and at risk of sounding a bit hyperbolic, it does kind of takes you back in time, because you said it's 2022. It takes me back in time to the Emmett Till days, and rest in peace, Emmett Till, and condolences to Mamie. That whole scenario.
Right.
I got attacked by a black man. That used to go on all day. If this was 50 years ago, bro, that would have went totally different.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, and that's the era that she's grown up with probably her mother and grandmother.
Yep.
This is the history they taught them. If you have any engagement with a black man, especially a big black man, just call the police on them.
And start crying and lying.
Yeah. They'll take your side of the story. They'll maybe shoot first and ask questions later. So you always have the benefit of the doubt. You're a Karen. Make it happen for yourself.
I'll tell you what, more brothers need to start, and sisters, filming these interactions and posting them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't believe it's still going on. I don't know why. We just had the whole world, whole country in turmoil over a cop putting his knee in somebody's neck and holding it there for 10 minutes while the other cops were
over an alleged fake $20 bill, which he could have gotten from anywhere.
Right. Could have came from the bank. It could have came from the gas station.
Could have came from that store he was at.
Yeah. So the fact that you killed this man over $20.
I don't think they ever even said the bill was fake at the end. They just stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
Right? I don't even think they said the bill was fake, bro.
Well, I mean, it was probably never collected, or if it was, it disappeared.
Yeah.
To avoid the litigation going any further. The fact that the bill was probably real. It might have been a washing machine. Anything can happen. But for a fake $20 bill, for this guy to pass, either somebody just gave it to him.
You kneeing on his neck for almost 10 minutes.
Did he look like an international counterfeiter that was going to come into a corner store in Minnesota and try and pass a $20 damn bill?
Even if he was, you're kneeling on his neck. Nonsense. A case close to you in Dalton. Family just got $33 million, the two families. So it was an attempted traffic stop. I never got the details, because it was a Fox article.
Oh, yeah.
So I never got the details. But a traffic stop, bro. And so the driver is wrong. He went driving off, young guys. They chased him at high speeds all through the south suburbs. He ended up crashing into like a garbage truck. The driver didn't die, but his two passengers did.
Mm.
The family sued the city of Dalton, $33 million. And I got people I know who just think that the city shouldn't have lost. I mean, yeah, the driver was dumb, but they have protocols, bro. Like, you're chasing them over nonsense.
Through the streets. So there's no telling what kind of kid they're gonna run over.
Yeah.
Old person crossing the street. Just somebody just out, maybe just on their lawn or walking on the sidewalk because you're chasing this car for a traffic stop of an alleged crime.
Alleged traffic stop. And you got the license plate. I mean, you could catch this guy. Just issue a warrant, for the registered owner. Go do your investigation.
Dalton's that big. Even if they get rid of the car,
it don't matter. The only thing you were stopping them for was a traffic stop. They got away. It's okay. 12. It's okay. If a guy was doing 10 miles per hour over the speed limit in your city and drove off at 120. So people say, well. They asked me, they said, well, now who would you be mad at? So if I'm in the car with you, Ace, and you take off, I might be in there telling you to stop. Now these were younger guys. They were probably back there saying, man, pull over, stop, slow down, just pull over. I can't control what this man is doing up there behind the wheel. You putting my life in jeopardy. Thank God he didn't have no kids in the car. Yes, he was wrong. Yes, he's going to get his accountability. He's got to live with the fact that he lost due to his ignorance. He basically killed his friend, and his other friend got brain damage, and he's probably caught a whole case behind it. Yeah. But I'm sure the supervisors were telling them, call this chase off.
Or if they shouldn't, they should be held accountable.
They should. 33 million seems a bit rich, but hey.
Yeah, maybe they had
They did.
lawyer.
They had a good lawyer. They had good lawyers, a firm like Loeb and Lawrenceburg or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, they had the hammer as their lawyer.
They had the hammers, bro. They sued the parents of the driver. First of all, he was a grown man. He's probably 18, 19. But second of all, you don't throw good money after bad. You go after the PD for negligence.
Yep. Right, and it was proven. It's proven that, and it's probably written into their policy.
Correct.
To break off
the community. The citizens said no more. Right. No more. I mean, There's levels to it. If it was a kidnapping and you witnessed that, you know, you saw him snatching a woman in the car and she's screaming. It's levels to it. But a traffic stop, bro.
Yeah, let him go. Let him
All
go.
right, so we talking politics, y'all, and this is ode to Bill Russell. Rest up. But let's go ahead and get into it, Ace. You got any Sox banter? We're gonna skip the Cubs because we don't care.
Well, I'll get this to the Cubs. They kept Ian Happ and Wilson Contreras. They can finish maybe under 20 games, under 500 by the end of the season, maybe under 40.
What do you mean they kept him? There was some trade talk about him?
This trade deadline was Tuesday evening, and Wilson Contreras had made, pretty vocal and animated hugs and well wishes to his teammates.
Oh, wow.
He thought he wasn't coming back. He thought he was positive at the trade deadline that he had played his last game in Wrigley. But the Cubs, I guess they didn't get what they were looking for out of him. And they kept him and Ian Happ, who are the two best players on the team. Kept them in Chicago. So I don't know why. You got rid of everybody else last year. Get rid of these guys too. I mean, fans are still coming out to the game to watch these other guys play.
They're coming out to the game to get drunk.
Yeah.
But I know your point.
Yeah.
You got anything from the Sox, bro?
Sox won a couple games against KC, so they're a couple games over 500. They made a trade to get an arm from the Boston Red Sox. Well, I don't know if it's going to help in the long run, but any more arms they can get is gravy for the White Sox. We'll see what they bring up in September down on the farm. They're still chasing Minnesota Twins. Got to beat those guys, and you got to go on a long winning streak to catch up to them. And, we'll see what happens. They look like they're rounding into shape, despite of Tony. But it all comes down to pitching, and I still, as I said in the beginning of the season, don't think they have enough. They may have enough to get a wild card bid. Pitching a wild card. Here to win the world championship. They don't have the arms to do it.
What their closer look like?
Oh, Liam Hendricks, the guy, he was in the All-Star game.
Okay.
But doesn't matter if you got a closer if you can't win the first 8 innings of the game.
Well, Ace, I mean, you're being hard on your boys. They're 53 and 51. They're 2 games back. They won 7 out of their last 10.
Yeah.
They're under 5 at home, and they're 28 and 22 on the road. I mean, they're right in the thick of things there, fella.
That's a solid wild card.
I mean, they can win the division.
Allegedly. Yes, they can.
So, who are the Who are the Guardians? Were those the team formerly known as the Indians?
Yeah.
Wow. I've been seeing this for weeks. Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, the Guardians and are the Twins still above them? I'll check the standings.
Yeah, the Twins are in first. The Guardians are a game and a half back. So the the Sox could move up on the Guardians.
Yeah, move right into second place. So, yeah, they can move right. We got about 50-plus games left.
Yeah.
They're paying, $500 ball? So they give them maybe 80 wins. Solid wild card team.
So you have no confidence that they can pull the division out, huh?
Not really, no.
They must have done well against the Twins. What they do in that series? You said it was a big series. Did they at least split or?
Yeah, I think they split.
Yeah, they didn't lose ground.
Yeah, but they tend to lose against the bums. They've been playing a lot better lately. So I'll give them that. You see their splits in the last 10 games with their 7-3. So yeah, they're playing.
And if my Cubbies was 2 games back, I'd be tickled pink right now.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have a chance of winning the World Series.
True enough. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
They
I don't
ain't
know.
gonna do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that they're winning, absolutely. But you start the season to play 162 games, get to the tournament to have a chance in the tournament.
Now you liken me back to my baseball days in Little League, way back to Little League. There's a lot of teams that made the playoffs perennially, but they were just playoff fodder. I know exactly what you're talking about. You weren't really taking them serious. You knew you were going to beat them in a pinch. You know what I mean? Yeah.
They just not.
No.
Unfortunately.
And normally they didn't have those arms. They didn't have somebody, that ace or the ace in the two throwing that heat.
Yeah. So when you get to the playoffs, they might win the play-in game, and then they're situated right in New York playing the damn Yankees. What's going to happen then?
Yeah. What do you think about Little League Baseball? Do they do a series? Is it a series?
The World Series, yeah. Once you get to, we just lost in state. So once you win your state,
once you win state, yeah,
go to a regional series.
And then you play each team 3 games or something.
It's a pool play, and then you go into elimination. So once there's one winner out of the regional, then that winner wins the regional, whether it's for the Southeast or Great Lakes or Midwest. They all carry these banters as far as these regional champions, and they head to Williamsport, Pennsylvania for the Little League World Series.
So once I get to Williamsport and I draw my first team, am I playing a series against them?
No, you're still playing.
Pool play.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. No, they need to go to the series, bro. So we ain't seeing the same arms. Let them kids play each team 3 times.
Well, they're on pitch count, so you get a certain amount of pitches. Like for 12-year-olds, you get up to 85 pitches. You throw 85 pitches or past 65 pitches, and you got to rest for 4 days. If you throw like 40 pitches, you got to rest.
But that's my point. So if you had to play somebody 2 more times, you gonna go through your whole. You gotta go through your whole staff, and it doesn't reward the team. I see your point though, because in the pool play, the next game that ace ain't up there. But now it's unfair because Jackie Robinson might have faced this team's ace, and then the number 2 or number 3 got to play the next team in the pool. That's all I'm saying. I want to sit there and play on a 3-game series, and then we move on.
No. It's all based on tournament rules and pitch count. So yeah, we might have faced their ace. We got to beat their ace, and then they play the next team. And if they lose, then they're out.
Because they don't have their ace. Yeah.
We beat their ace, and then we go into the next game against another team's second best pitcher.
Yeah.
And we keep moving on.
Yeah.
But that's why your pitching staff has to be. You got to be at least 5 to 7 pitches deep.
Yeah, man. To get at that level. Yeah.
Yeah, that level. Yeah. I mean, and it's not that these kids got to be throwing heat, but they got to be throwing strikes, and you got to play good defense.
Yeah.
If they're throwing strikes, your team's playing good defense, you got a chance in any game. But once you get to that level, kids aren't throwing the ball down the middle of the plate for strikes. They're moving the ball inside, outside, up and down, and they got some kind of breaking ball. So it's good baseball. Yeah, I'm
going to have to check some of them games out at Williamsport. All right, man. So this is ode to Bill Russell. We're going to get to that topic, but let's jump to Bears camp news. Tevin Jenkins. Remember I talked about that. I wouldn't sign anybody named Tevin. I wouldn't hire anybody named Tevin. If I had a daughter, she wouldn't be able to date anyone named Tevin.
I got a player. I got an 8-year-old. I'm going to put on my fall ball team named Tevin. So.
Nah, cut him, Ace. You know what I mean? Big ups to him and his family. Why'd you cut me? I'm one of the best. Your name's Tevin. And I just, blame your mom or your dad, But all right, so Tevin Jenkins, though, man, this guy, I mean, your best ability is your availability. You know, the last regime took a gamble on him. You know, upside gamble.
Yeah, they like that. They like doing it. That's where they're going.
Is he getting a pink pass, a pink slip? Because he's not in pads now. Some sort of soft tissue injury, what have you.
I think he's partially melanated.
All right, so he's not getting a. Yeah, it does look like he's got some sort of color in him. So you're saying he's not getting a pink pass, but I mean, what would you do with him at this point? I guess you can't cut him because he's always claiming injury. Well, you can cut him, you can't trade him.
Yeah. I got to ride him through training camp. I mean, you got a boatload of offensive linemen out there. You got a new regime. So, I mean, there's nothing for them to lose by keeping him through training camp. The banter about the press is that, you know, he's feeling some sort of way about the new coaching staff, but the new coaching staff, nor the new GM gives a damn about you. If you want to play football, you got to get your ass out there.
They're not pampering them and babying them like the last regime probably.
Right.
You know what I mean? They tell them you got to bust your ass like everybody else.
Right.
So like, so if he's really hurt, okay.
Yeah.
But this just came up on me, man. Like nobody was talking about he was expected to miss camp. Next thing you know, he shows up talking about soft tissue injury. It's not like he's Roquan.
Yeah, I mean this is quite strange. In the OTAs, he was losing time to the fifth round pick, that Braxton Jones.
Also, he's butt hurt. That's his injury. He's butt hurt.
I believe so, because Braxton Jones, but he can be butt hurt. Even the experienced tackle that they signed from Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Shifter, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Shifty.
He hasn't taken Braxton Jones out of that left tackle position. Now this guy's a rookie, going against an experienced player, so he might play right tackle. So this guy, you know, he might be cut or on the bench or on the pup list or whatever the Bears need to do. But you can't have enough offensive linemen. You know, maybe his butt will stop hurting in 6 weeks. He come out and play some football. But you got to make this team. There's nothing guaranteed on this team.
So I'll go with you there. He's getting his pink slip. I'd give him after the second game in the preseason, man.
But they really have nothing to lose. It's on a rookie contract, second round pick. I don't know when they gotta, you know, as long as they cut him before the season starts, you know, there's nothing lost. Yeah. But, you know, I don't know. It's a Poles decision. Yes, they're trying to trade him because they got a second round pick invested in him in some years that they didn't have a first round pick. So they want to get what they can out of him. These old say probably get them you can get a starting quarterback and a starting running back out of him.
You can probably, according to Diesel, you can probably get Lamar Jackson for him.
Well, Lamar, they don't want to pay Lamar, so we can trade. We can trade Tevin Jenkins to Baltimore and get Lamar Jackson out of the deal. So, yeah,
we can package Tevin and what's the guy we just got from Denver? Trevor Simeon. No,
Simeon,
package them together and get them over to Denver.
Jackson.
I mean, to Baltimore. Yeah.
Yeah, bring Lamar Jackson here and put him on the bench behind Fields.
Yeah. Yeah. Or move Lamar Jackson over to a scat back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right. According to Diesel, neither one of them could. Neither one of them could play the position. Yeah. All right. But one thing Diesel did say, he was talking about his mechanics, and I did hear somewhere where they have tweaked Justin Time's mechanics a bit, and he does look sharper.
Yeah, his footwork and his delivery of the pass.
Yeah.
Ball out of his hands, and get him out of the college mentality at Ohio State, where he's got all damn day to throw the ball.
Because he's got the best players, the best receivers, the best linemen, the best coaching staff, right?
best training table, the best
Yeah.
best strength and conditioning coach. Yeah. So they're trying to speed up his clock in his head and change the mechanics, fix his footwork, and it says he's looking good. Him as well as the second round picks they got this year for our defense, Kyler Gordon.
Yeah. I was just gonna go there, but we'll stay on offense before we jump to defense. Your boy, you was talking about the tight ends looking good too, man.
Cole Komet. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think for the majority of offensive players, it's just refreshing to be in an offense that caters to the player's talents.
Your talent, yeah.
As opposed to sticking you in as you're Travis Kelce, you're Mahomes, you're Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, you're the cheetah. Yeah.
Let's go out there and make these plays work. So,
And you don't have those players.
You don't have none of those players. You got rookie, second-year player, and nobody. You got Mooney, third-year player, trying to fill those roles in Inward's offense, and no offensive line. So now that they did a little work building the offensive line, they changed the offense, made some plays that are conducive to them matriculating the ball down the field. I believe the Bears are going to be fourth.
Yeah, they said Mooney's still being Mooney, and they're showing some progression. But to your point about the defense, the defense has been dominating. They said that safety is off the charts. That rookie safety. Yeah.
Sandusky University,
Yeah. And then when they moved to nickel, they real happy about them, man.
Yeah. Well, I told you once they brought the guy in from Sandusky. The last that was a period that Eddie Jackson was flourishing before, when Adrian Amos was here for the
Adrian Amos and Andy.
Yeah, well, the Fudgebackers took him to Green Bay.
Yeah.
And Jackson hasn't been able to do anything since. So now you got another safety from Sandusky coming in, and they say he's been looking, it's made Eddie Jackson look well, as well as this kid is playing well.
So Raekwon is his own agent. I forgot about that. And he's looking to get a deal. He's at all the team meetings. He's there doing the walkthroughs, et cetera, et cetera. I saw an interview where Poles was outwardly and obviously frustrated about the whole topic.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take on that? When do you think? Because they're putting in a whole new system. I know he could pick it up. He's intelligent.
But if he's doing the mental reps,
yeah,
that's fine. He probably just needs to. They don't play until the 13th against the Chiefs. He plays in the last game of the last two games. He's doing the mental reps and getting in there and practice probably in the last 2 weeks. He should be fine. But
Poles seemed frustrated because it's like he don't even know what the guy wants. He was intimating that maybe he did say if he had an agent, he thinks it would be easier because at least there'd be some conversation with it. You got a guy here that you need to negotiate with, and he needs to be at practice, and he's not even
out what the hell he wants.
Practice.
Take him to the strip club, chicken shack, or
get him drunk.
Flying
Those
down
contracts ain't legal. You can't have someone. I mean.
Yeah, you can. You fly him down to his hometown, get his uncles or his cousins or whoever the hell he likes to kick it with, and find out what the hell he wants and give it to him.
You get Suge Knight to allegedly vanilla ice him and hang him over the patio and make him sign.
No, this is different. It's different than NFL. If he wants $100 million, what does he want besides that? It's either the guaranteed money
or the years. Yeah.
Or the years.
Yeah.
So fix
whatever it is, give it to him.
Y'all got to
and because else you're going to get into that franchise player stuff, which always leaves a sour taste in everybody's mouth.
Well, I mean, he's under contract for this year. I mean, they're talking about the extension. So
Right. But
figure
if
it
he
out.
gets hurt this year, they're going to lowball him. And that's what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Give me the extension.
yeah. So give him the money once, prorated, so it's cap friendly for the team, and he's in a position of power because they got $100 million coming back to the cap next year. So if they put some money onto the cap this year and prorated over the next 2 years and cap space, they'll be in a good position. That's why he's hitting them now. But so I don't know what the holdup is, or who's got the purse strings, or if they're saying
Who's got the thumb up their butt?
yeah, we never gave a Negro a player this much money.
Oh, yeah, it's probably Virginia.
Yeah. They got to figure it out because he's not going in.
Bro, he's your alpha male on your fucking defense, bro.
Yeah.
He's like the leader of the whole team.
Yeah, so it's just a matter if he's happy playing or he's unhappy playing. Which more than likely he's going to get hurt.
I hear you. Get the deal done. All right, you got anything else from Bears camp before we move forward?
No, I'm just ready to get the game started. I'll be out of there.
Well, the head coach did say this, Ace, that they asked him in their first game, does he plan to play the ones? And he said yes, and often. And even in these practices they got against these other teams. A lot different from the last regime.
Well, the last regime knew what the players could do. He knew if they played to their potential in his offense, that nobody.
The last regime talked about players not getting hurt for the first half of the season, bro. They coached not to get hurt.
The NFL.
That shouldn't even come up in your practice unless you're talking about calisthenics and stretching and shit.
It's the NFL. I mean, I listened to Coach E's last press conference.
Coach Flus?
Yeah, Flus. That's what I'm.
Yeah, that's what they call him. Flus.
Calls him. Yeah, Flus. Coach Flus press conference. He said, we're a flow to the ball team. So
yeah,
we can have 10 guys going at the ball, but if one isn't doing it, that means we failed on the play.
Correct.
So
and he acknowledged that, if you need a breather, go hard all the time, but get a breather and this next man up, which should make your whole team stronger and better throughout the whole lineup.
It's going to make them fresher. It's going to mean less injuries.
Instead of having, right, we said that. We were saying that about the other coach. That's why their players were getting hurt, because they pampered them. You want some baby powder? You know what I mean?
I'm really bad.
You want me to wipe your bum after you get off the toilet? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Push them around in wheelchairs in practice and make sure they don't, twist their ankle.
We're gonna play them first 3 minutes of the first preseason game with my rookie quarterback or the ginger I just got on the damn team, and then we're gonna figure out from there what we're gonna do for the rest of the season. It was nuts.
I don't know if we can say Ginger or Marianne on the show, but I don't know. Big ups to the Gingers out there. Ode to Bill Russell, champion. That's our topic tonight, but we're shooting through our hot topics. How about them Bulls? They signed Big Goran Dragic. I think he's from one of those shithole countries. $2.9 million. What's his game like? How's he gonna fit in? You got him pegged as a starter or what?
$2.9 million, definitely from a shithole country, and no, he's not starting. $2.9 million. It might get you off the end of the bench, but I don't know. We'll see.
I thought that was below the league minimum, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's got to be for his tenure. But, hey, they got him a steal. I suppose we're supposed to believe.
But, I mean, is he a defensive stopper? I mean, does he have a nice shot? Would he be a good backup? What?
Yeah, he's got to be a shooter. Come on, he's from a shithole country. They don't play defense.
He's probably smoking a cigarette right now.
Yeah, drinking a Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
no,
we got.
I don't know who this guy is. I don't have any confidence in him. Yeah, you want to build up your bench, absolutely, but you still need a point guard. Your point guard is still, in the ice tub, getting ready for the next surgery. So, what's going on, Chicago?
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you last week. We did get a point guard. I'm about to go through their roster as it is now,
Okay.
and then we're going to try to determine who you're going to run out there as your starting five.
All right.
So you got DeMar DeRozan, small forward.
Starting.
Nikola Shithole Country Vukovic, center.
Might be traded.
Lonzo Ball, point guard.
Won't start the
Alex Caruso, guard.
off the bench.
Patrick Williams, power forward, small forward.
Got to start him. You don't have any size.
Ayo Dosunmu, guard.
Start him out my two.
Kobe White, guard. Trade him? Yeah, I trade him.
If I could package him up with Vukovic for a solid.
Probably package him up with Nick Foles and get Kevin Durant.
No, you package him up with Nick Foles and probably get LeBron James.
And Bronny. Yeah.
Yeah. Future consideration.
Yeah. All right. But Kobe White, you said off the bench, right? 6-man.
Off the bench, I'll package him up to trade him.
Derrick Jones Jr., that's the new rookie forward.
Derrick Jones? No, he's not the rookie.
He's not the rookie? No. Who is he?
He's a leaper.
Off the bench?
Yeah, he's definitely a bench player.
Dalen Terry, guard forward.
That's the rookie. Yeah, he's definitely
okay.
On the bench. He scored once a game.
Yeah, he weighs about 15 pounds.
All right.
Javonte Green, forward.
Bench player. I like him. I like him a lot. He's a bench player.
Andre, what you talking about, Mr. Drummond? Andre Drummond, center.
Spot starter. We'll see once Vukovic, once they package up Vukovic and White, see what they get out of him. That trade. But it's coming up.
Well, here's the point guard that I couldn't think of last week that they brought in. Goran Shithole Country Dragic, point guard.
Yeah. He's going to be starting because your guy is not playing this year. I mean, not this year. He's not going to play probably till December. And then
Tony Bradley, center.
In December, he'll be out by February. Tony Bradley's definitely a bench reserve. Hopefully he's gotten a little thicker.
Marco Shithole Simonovic, power forward / center.
G League.
Justin Lewis, forward.
G League.
All right. So I'm going to go. It's hard to put ball in here. So, yeah, DeMar DeRozan is my small forward. I'll give you that. Mm-hmm. Patrick Williams is my power forward.
Yeah.
Vukovic is my center. I'll go with Lonzo Ball at the 1. Mm-hmm. Caveat, it may be Goran Dragic. And then the 2. Who's the 2?
I'm going with Ayo. If he's putting the work in the offseason, I'll
all right. So in the perfect world, we'd be looking.
Zach LaVine.
Oh yeah, he's not even on this damn list. And LaVine is the 2. All right. Well, that makes good sense. So that means Ayo is going to be coming off the bench. So in the perfect world, I got Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Vukovic, and
Peter Tom Willis.
Patrick Williams.
Right.
Which means your bench at that point is Ayo, Goran Dragic, Alex Caruso,
Andre Drummond.
Yeah, you like him. Andre Drummond.
I like him off the bench, yeah.
And then I guess that rookie. I mean, they feel a little. If healthy.
Yeah, they won't be.
I mean, if healthy, I could see, 55 wins.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking deja vu like this season.
And we'll see. All right, so, go Bulls, go Bulls. This
Go
topic
Bulls.
tonight is Bill Russell, champion, rest in peace. We're getting there. That's our hottest topic. But I got a video to share with America.
All right.
Wait a second here. Let me get that off of there. Hate when I do this. I think I had that right. And Ace, you got a baseball background. I mean, this is literally what you do. So we're going to go to it. Let's see here. And you guys like, share, subscribe. This is a video that we wanted to share with America under fair use. And tell us what you think.
Now to growing outrage over an incident at a Little League baseball tournament in West Houston.
Yeah, parents are furious, saying a coach on the losing team got a little too aggressive with kids during the traditional handshake. Afterward, that video blowing up on TikTok. Xavier Walton shows us how a moment that's supposed to show good sportsmanship turned out to be just the opposite. Xavier.
Parents say it is hard to believe, but they have the video to prove it.
The game was over, but the drama was just getting started when these two teams lined up to shake hands. Just listen.
That kid hit me hard. The kid hit me hard. No, I got hit right in the head. The kid hit me hard. That coach pulled me back.
Prospects Baseball just beat Scorpions Team Easton Red. Watch again. This time watch the coach in khaki shorts, who appears to do a little more than a simple high five.
Nothing in the world gives you a right to go in and do that to kids.
Victor Torres coaches the prospects. Torres says you'd expect it from the kids, but the coach?
They'll come in here and slap you hard on the hand and be like, hey, don't do that, But an adult, you wouldn't expect it.
Here's how Scorpions Baseball responded, saying his actions were unacceptable and do not align with our organization's values. We removed him from coaching and from our club around 8:30 a.m. Sunday. The coach seen displaying poor sportsmanship is Kenneth Nguyen. He's a member of the Harris County Constable Precinct 5 office. In January of 2021, he was promoted to sergeant, according to Precinct 5's Facebook page.
How is that even possible? You hold them to a higher standard, and then you come out here and do that to kids.
A parent from the Scorpions who was at the game defending the former coach, saying, quote, "We have known the Wendt family for 2 years, and Kenny has always been a great husband, father, and coach." As for Coach Torres,
like I told my kids, we don't lose, we learn.
Ow.
He says this was a teachable moment for everyone.
You don't do that to 9-year-olds. You don't put your hands on 9-year-olds, especially someone else's child.
And earlier today, I spoke with somebody from the Harris County Constable Precinct 5 office. They said they're aware of the incident and they're looking into it. In Houston, Xavier Walton, KHOU 11 News.
Not good sportsmanship. All right, Xavier, thank you. Now to growing outrage over an incident.
All right, Ace. First, I'm going to ask you this question as a parent.
Yeah.
You've got two boys that play the game. Not you're on the other sideline like that other coach was, but you're a parent.
Right.
What's your reaction to something like that?
If I see it as a parent, I will verbalize my displeasure. And a coach doing that to kids, like you said, you expect it out of kids because they win. A lot of times they win and lose. Their emotions on their heart, on their sleeves. So, they might give a rough. They're supposed to, they normally say good game. Someone just slap
right, or don't shake your hand.
Right. Well, yeah. We would verbalize. I would tell another coach that, come on, kids, not even shaking hands after the game. What are you teaching? But for another coach, if I saw that, it would be stopped.
So now, yeah. So as the manager, you're going to report it to the league?
Probably not. We'll talk to him at the game. But somebody,
face to face.
Yeah, somebody apparently. I don't give a damn if he is 12. Like, these are kids out here. Don't do that to kids, and don't do it to my kids. How would you like me to come and slap your kid upside the head?
Yank his arm out of his rotator cuff.
Right. 8, 9-year-old, because you're upset you lost a game. They're gonna lose a lot of games, but they're gonna win a lot of games. That's why they play so many.
And what I said on the self-love show, with this guy being a so-called constable, he's supposed to be using this opportunity, which is the reason he's there, to create relationships with these young kids, so that as they grow up and become 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, they'll remember him and say, hey, don't shoot that pig. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Maybe they'll be more likely to cooperate in certain situations.
Yeah.
But no, he's creating an opposition.
Yeah, from a sports level, which, with the melanated and brown and black players have to deal with enough in the sport of baseball, as far as sportsmanship and being on the short end of the stick. But to a coach after a game to do that to a kid, it shouldn't be tolerated. He should have been fired the next morning. That brother behind him should have grabbed him.
Yep.
Stopped him from what he did.
Yep. After he did the first one. Yep. He's just as culpable.
Yeah.
If I'm first of all, if I'm a dad or the other manager, I'm in his face and I'm gonna tell him, do it to me. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Do it to me.
Right.
Yeah.
But to do that to some players after they lost the game, there's no telling what you'll do to a team that really,
Or what you do to a young Hispanic, driving down the street and you pull them over for nonsense.
The next day at work, I want to see if this guy's got his paper.
I bet you're one of those baseball playing kids.
Yeah. You don't go to school, do you? You just hit the baseball.
Yeah,
Dude, I was born in East LA, man. What are you talking about? I'm from this country.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, and I think he deserves that minimum, a suspension by his LEO, law enforcement agency.
Yeah, I mean, because from what I've been told, you're once you take the oath as an officer, you're an officer pretty much 24 hours a day.
You are.
So you're in the community doing this to kids.
They have to be able to trust that you have a certain temperament.
Yeah.
Because you're legally allowed to kill.
Yeah. And obviously you don't have this temperament if you can't lose a damn weekend baseball game.
Correct. So I think, maybe get them some psychological counseling. I'd suspend them without pay too.
I forgot what they said the score was, 9-0 or 12. I mean, come on. Your team was in a competition with this other team.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be pulling some arms, pull the kids on your team's arms. And not that I'm suggesting that, but right. They're the ones who didn't do what you were managing them to do.
So you go after the game and you talk like, hey, we got to get better. We got to improve. We got to work on this, that, and the other. Because we don't want to lose like this. We don't want to be embarrassed. We're not out here to play like this. So XYZ, this is what we got to do to get better from next game. Practices Monday at whatever time. Or Wednesday.
Yeah, America, that was pink stink. I'm just going to call it what it is. That's pink stink. All right, so Brittany Gulag Griner was sentenced to 9 years in the Gulag. Thoughts, potential remedy?
I was trying to grab some Russians, send them to life, whatever the hell they did. I mean, she's going to get 9 years My problem was she pleaded guilty over there. I don't know where a lawyer came from, but
Well. Let me get this. First of all, if she was guilty, but in those countries, bro, China, Russia, they be having like a 99.999 conviction rate. Yeah. And if you take it to trial, it's getting like that in America. They'll tell you, well, if you take it to trial and you're going to get 45 to life. But if you plead guilty, we can get you out here and we'll sentence you to 9 and you'll probably be out of here in 7 or 6. And
oh my gosh.
That's a heavy challenge to face, bro, when you're in a foreign country.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have no rights.
No rights.
You're not a citizen, and you do something bad.
And you're colored.
And you're 6'9" in color, and a alternative, which they don't go for in those.
They go for it. They just, that's everywhere. But I hear you.
I know it's everywhere, but legally.
Publicly and legally, yeah.
They don't go for
it. I mean, they don't have enough trouble with the Russian mafia and things like that, real crime going on in Russia?
Well, I think it's the money that the U.S. is sending to Croatia. Yeah, billions of dollars.
Ukraine. I think it was Croatia.
Yeah, whatever the hell these countries are.
It's a shithole country.
Let them damn countries fight it out over the damn backyard. Whoever wins, wins. Whoever loses, loses. Putin's going to eventually win. So, if you're not involved in their business, I mean, we got shit reparations they could be paying here with that damn money, as opposed to sending it over there. Start, backing wars that the U.S. has nothing to do with.
Well, here's the thing: because let's just say you were a blonde-haired, blue-eyed. If she was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Russian,
Becky,
and got caught doing the same thing, if they would have sentenced her like that, what can I say? So I should have done a little more research to see what the typical sentencing guidelines are for such a type of crime in Russia.
I would be pretty sure that it fits in those guidelines. Keep everything above board, so to say. Even though everything is not above board.
Of course not.
But legally and technically, there's nothing the U.S. can do. They can keep harping on, you need to let her go, or all this crap, or we're not going to trade the terrorist back to you, this basketball player, which,
if she was Sue Bird, they would have given them a terrorist.
Yeah, probably sure.
Pre-sentencing, nobody would have known about it.
Yeah.
And, Russia would have probably just banned her from the country. And right.
Yeah. And she wouldn't want to go back anyway, so it would have been fine.
Right.
But there's nothing the U.S. can do against Russia.
Nothing. They have a whole army over there. Nuclear bombs, everything.
They got everything we got, so I don't know why they're getting involved with sending the Ukraine all this damn money and thinking
and weapons, not just money. They've been sending them weapons. Our technology that they're reverse engineering. Yeah. They're all working in cahoots because Ukraine never split from Russia. If you believe that, then I got some land to sell you, some swamp land in Florida that Ace loves to go to. Yeah, and all they're doing is reverse engineering all our technology and giving it to Russia.
Giving it right to them. And we're just, paying for it and giving them the technology.
Correct. And buying the whole story.
Listen here, you're not going to give this to Mother Russia, are you?
Oh, no.
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 Yeah. Oh, no. Just keep sending the weapons and the money. When is the check coming?
I mean, imagine this, Ace. Imagine if Mississippi, all the blacks went there, and then they gave us a sovereign state. We were in a shithole state, Yeah. Not saying Mississippi is a shithole state. I'm just saying it would probably become a shithole state if we seceded from the Union and we were there. And then the spooks said, hey, we can start a war against you, and you're going to get funding from all over the world.
Uh-huh.
money on top of money. But when Russia starts giving you technology, all we need you to do is give it to us.
Yeah, we got our own newspapers. Shit.
We were American. We were American 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Right. We speak the same language. We're right in your backyard. I mean,
yeah, we get anybody to write this shit, man. Whatever you want us to say.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. So, if she did do it, we talked about it. I mean, poor judgment. Like, who does that?
But you know,
he has to have something psychological going, bro.
I'm pretty sure she had been getting away with it for years.
I'm talking straight short bus is what I'm saying, and she's been able to hoop. I'm serious, bro. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, I shouldn't say short bus, but learning disability. I have to think there's something going on there, Ace. Everybody knows you don't go to those countries. Just like the kid went to China, the ball boy, and shoplifted in China. You have to be short bus to pull that.
Especially when you're a millionaire.
If she was in the U.S., they would have been pled guilty. She would have got probation. They'd have sent her to a program. She'd still be playing in the league.
Should have gave a bag to the constable in the county. It should have been over. But you're in Russia. During a war, they're telling you to get out of the country. So you're going to leave with some contraband. She couldn't even make it to customs here in the U.S.
Not once, Ace, did she say, you know what? I forgot it was in there. At least say that.
Yeah.
I did it. I'm guilty. I didn't intend to commit a crime. I wasn't doing it to hurt any Russians, which is all true. But at least say, you know what? I was so high. I forgot it was in my bag.
Yeah. I mean, that wouldn't have helped her, but, you know, just to the, come on, man. You know better. Like I said, I'm sure she been playing over there for years. So I'm sure she had been getting away with it. But this is in the middle of a war. So if she hadn't contacted the U.S. Embassy before she left Russia, or if they hadn't contacted her,
First of all,
bad on both parts.
I wouldn't even be playing for those countries.
Yeah, no.
If it's not a ally nation, you know, I'm not signing with them. I don't care how much money they throw my way for that reason.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's
That's what I'm saying. Short bus.
Yeah. She had to take care of her family.
You can do that on another team. You can go play for Italy or you know, France, or you know what I mean.
Somebody within the Allies.
Yes.
Not as much as they were going to pay you in Russia, because you wouldn't be facing no damn 9-year prison term.
And you wouldn't have been poor either.
Yeah.
You know. But free Brittany Griner. So my potential remedy is, like you said, just go ahead and trade 1 or 2 Russians you already got in jail. They want some spooks. You know, just go ahead and give up some spooks. Cut the deal. Yeah. You know, Donald Trump would have cut the deal. As much as I hate to say it, Donald Trump would have got her out of there. He got the ball boy out of China.
Yeah. So I don't know if, you know, these guys, you know, they're facing trial or whatever's going on. Just bring them up to a life sentence and see what Russia's going to do. You know, these guys can get life, or we can get Brittany back. What y'all want to do?
Right. They can get the waterboard treatment, or we can get Brittany back. Can we say waterboarding? All right, we're going to move on. But free Brittany. So real quick, Ace, a footnote. We did a segment on Delonte West, and you know how he's back on his feet and everything. But now there was some news that came out contrary to this fact. Mm-hmm. So he was doing good, and then now he's falling off of the wagon.
So it's
Yeah.
substance.
So. Yeah.
Or is it
Yeah.
mental?
He's fucked.
Well, I mean,
It's both. It's both.
yeah. So a mental disorder combined with substance abuse, it's hard without a strong support system for that person to come all the way back, or come back and then, people feel that you're doing well and then just let you go on your own because you have nobody to tell you no, or we need to work on this instead of you doing that. And thusly, you fall back into the same habits or the same problems that were leading to the downfall you faced before. So I know he knows people in the NBA, his former teams. Got to have some systems in place that can help him. I'm sure the NBA has systems in place that can help a former player, but somebody has to reach out to him. There are former players in the NBA that's going through substance abuse. I don't know, substance abuse and mental disorder at the same time, but there's former players that can help him, and people need to reach out. It's either the NBA or I know some are trying to reach out to him. It's a matter of how far he's willing to look for help. But
It's mental.
Yeah.
It's mental though. Like, you can't just throw money at every problem though. Like,
yeah.
I remember Oprah or somebody got the homeless dude off the street, gave him all his money, and then they came back like a year later. He had a bunch of homeless people living in the house, and he lost the house and was living homeless just inside the house. You know what I mean? Living that lifestyle. But this is from the New York Post, bro. So they had a viral video of him looking real bad, standing out in front of 7-Eleven, man. Panhandling on the side of the road in Virginia. And West said, "It is what it is. I got children. I'm in between jobs." No, you're unemployed.
Yeah. And you screwed your teammates, mother, allegedly. So that might be part of the problem of no help from the NBA or the NBA Players Association, or you just crossed the line that nobody wants to help him come back over.
I remember I was dating this girl before I met my wife, and her daughter was like, "So what do you do for a living?" I was like, "I'm in between jobs right now." She had to be like 6 years old. "Oh, you ain't got one." Yeah, we both started laughing. Everybody was laughing. Yeah, but that's true. Very astute of you. Yes, I don't have one. But he said, "I got children. I'm in between jobs. People can help me as much as they can. But, as a man, what you were saying, I got to do what I got to do for my baby." So you're going to stand out in front of 7-Eleven? That's what you got to do as a man?
Feed your babies. No.
A man, I don't want to say that, knock on wood, but standing out in front of Ace, I've been and down and broke and just couldn't do it. Couldn't ask no other person for money, man. It's like, man, I'll take whatever job I can get. Whether it's a shithole telemarketing job, big ups to all the telemarketing, whatever it is, man, just whether it's minimum wage flipping burgers at McDonald's, bro, like, that's what you do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even let men ask me for money, especially when I have my son or any of my sons with
right.
me. You can't ask me for money. My son is with me.
Some of them are so eloquent too, Ace. It's like, why don't you go inside that 7-Eleven and ask them for a job?
Yeah.
So it likens me back. I was riding the blue line to work one day, bro, and there was a brother that got on every day for like a year. Prison swole. And he'd be loud, intimidating the white folks. "I'm a ex-offender, and I'm recently out of jail, and I'm in this program and that program." He'd be loud. You can hear him on every train car, right? Black man.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get a job because, I'm on a record and all this and that, right? Now, the job I had, the owners of the company were ex-offenders. So at least 30% of our company was ex-offenders, bro.
Right.
So finally one day I walked up to him. I'm like, look, bro, you on this blue line. Where I get off this blue line, it's like a 4-block walk. You know.
Walk with me.
Man, just walk with me. I'll talk to the people for you, and you can do what I do. My man got off the blue line just for show because all the white people was looking. Walked about a block, turned around.
Get right back on.
Went right back on to catch the next train so he can keep getting his hustle.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, you know, like I see guys, the same guys, and they're so eloquent. I'm like, man, somebody would hire you for phone work. I mean, I don't know what your record is, but you've been out here 7 years. It's got to be, you know what I mean?
They're not going to hire me for tax-free dollars.
Correct. And they're getting a check somewhere, a crazy check or something else they're getting on top of it. Right. But West, the 24th overall pick by the Celtics in 2004, has publicly dealt with mental health struggles, substance abuse, bipolar disorder. He entered rehab, which we covered, in 2020 with help from Cuban. Last October, he reportedly relapsed and was arrested outside of Florida Police Department. You panhandling the cops as they coming out? So,
story made up by 12.
Something about I'm always involved in the game I love. Last year I was scouting for the Dallas Mavericks. Right, so he had a job, man. He just wouldn't show up. That's what I'm saying, bro. Cuban gave him a job.
He didn't have any structure, though. You give even back in the 80s, you give a crackhead a job, they're going to show up for a little while. But eventually, you know.
On payday, boy, you ain't going to see him the day after payday, boy.
Hell no.
They already getting their story together.
Right. Oh, man. I was in a car accident. And,
bro, and it'd be 8 degrees of separation. My cousin's brother's little sister, see? Yeah. And that's why you miss work?
Yeah. So I'm in the hospital. Everything's getting together. And I should be back there by next Tuesday.
Right. I'm with my third niece. Stand by her bedside. They're always doing some heroic stuff too, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I was in the car business. I had knew my share of booger sugar users and crack abusers and
the stories they come up with.
Same stories.
You want to? That's that booger sugar talking, ain't it? Don't you want to say that? That's that booger sugar talking.
Right, man. Yeah, I'm good.
You ain't even getting no sleep in the last 2 days before you concocted that one, did you?
Hey, but they let you come back, so you good, I'm good.
Yeah, because when they be on, man. They'll come back. When they do show up, they sell 6 cars.
Yeah, I got to get that next check.
They sell 6 cars that day. You be saying, man, we had them at my job when I was doing bill collections. Boy, everybody was paying their bills after they talked to them. What is he saying to them? I got to get my Jones.
I got to get together.
All right, so Delonte, man, get well. But at this point, Ace, his help's got to come internally, man.
Yeah, but yeah. That's true. But
they helped
not
him.
looking for it.
Right. And you want to talk about your kids, and the man can't. Well, go to work. He made you a scout, bro.
Right. A scout. That means you can go anywhere in the country and get all of the cocaine, whatever you want.
That's the thing. You can't travel with the cocaine,
Yeah. So he needs some structure, but you can't hire a man and then think you got to hire a babysitter for this person to keep them on the straight and narrow.
Well, he needs the places that Ronald Reagan closed down and no other regime after him, whether they were Democrats or whatever, has decided to reopen all of the mental institutions where they could get structure. And some of those people were getting rehabilitated after some years of not being able to get to their Jones and, having somebody talk to them every day and give them that structure. Right. And then have them on an out program where they go to work and then come back, that kind of thing. Somebody's there to pick them up when their shift is over, before their shift ends.
Somebody to talk to them even before cell phones. They can always reach somebody.
Correct.
like, come on back, or where are you?
Correct.
Let me get you.
Man, you can even put a low jack on those people so you can find them.
Yeah.
We don't.
Once it all became a business,
correct.
There was no need to actually get it done.
Your boy Ronald Reagan was like, we could save this much money a year off the budget. And I find I don't just blame him, because nobody else, not even Barack, went back in and said, this is bad. You know what I'm saying? And we got to put the funding back to house these people.
And Barack, as a community organizer, knows that, coming from a grassroots level, allegedly, that all of these programs were needed.
Correct.
Now, whether
we're not just naming Barack, both the Bushes. I mean, you know what I mean?
Well, we know the Republicans weren't going to do it.
Right.
And
right.
And the Clintons had to have some kind of interest in the prisons.
They did. Oh, yeah.
They
weren't going to do it. You're right. But they should have done it. Yeah. Bill. Yeah. Who else? Crime Bill Biden.
Yeah.
So a lot of times the Democrats play that. The Democrats play that. So it'd be like, man, if you my brother and you're a Republican, and our parents are like, who did this? He did it.
He did.
You know, and they look at me like, well, right? Why you ain't clean it up? Exactly. Yeah.
Let me in the office. I'm gonna fix it. So that's the hype for the next election, where we may see the return of Trump. Or they say Mike Pence, but I think Trump is going to supersede Mike Pence.
God, Pence is
run for president.
Pence is Satan. But now Trump, they'll elect him if he's in prison. He could be in federal prison, and they'll go vote his. Yeah.
That was Trump run.
All right, so Trump is the only person with an ego big enough to lose in the election and claim it was stolen from him, and then I'm gonna run again. I'm like, who does that? Like, once you become president, you retire and go into business, and I'm gonna run again.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to go to jail for tax fraud. He wants to set his family up.
But the state of New York trying to lock him up.
Yeah, that's why he needs to run again.
Stay 4 more years out of jail, and then after that, I'm 80-something years old. Y'all not finna lock me up, are y'all?
No, we're gonna forget about it. Yeah. Come on, you're a 2-term president.
2-term with a gap in between.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it, man. So now we jump to topic. No. We got to talk about. This is our new segment. We're doing this now. This is new. It's Coon of the Week. TATN, we don't, we typically don't go in and go after our people, but this has to be done.
All right.
So, Coon of the Week. Our first Coon of the Week is Channing Crowder. He defends a anonymous defensive coordinator, who I think probably works for Baltimore, who made comments because of the contract dispute, who made comments on Lamar Jackson. The coordinator said, and quote, if he has to pass to win the game, they ain't winning the game. He's so unique as an athlete. Listen to all the dog whistling. And he's a really good football player, but I don't care if he wins the league MVP 12 times.
What a monkey.
I don't care if he wins league MVP 12 times. I don't think, and this is why he's anonymous, because he didn't want Jackson, whenever he come to town, to put his foot up his bum, on the field with stats, because he would have had it coming. I don't care if he wins MVP 12 times. I don't think he'll ever be a 1 or a starter, bro, as a quarterback. He'll be a 1 as a football player, but not as a quarterback. There's more, but you got any comments on that so far? There's more, Ace.
I mean, what kind of monkey says a player that wins MVP 12 times can be playing the position of quarterback isn't a starter in the NFL as a quarterback.
Right. You've won the MVP playing quarterback 12 times. All the white boys at the beginning of the quarterback position were running the ball. But go ahead, Ace.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who you're comparing him to or his career to Tom Brady. Yeah. I don't know who this guy is or where this comes from, but obviously he's probably he was at the Capitol on January 6th to be coming up with some nonsense that if he's MVP 12 times, he's still not a QB1.
Anonymous too. What a real tough man.
Yeah, and this guy's gonna sign a $250 million contract, or you're still moving from city to city whenever a coach gets fired. It's ridiculous, man. That you had this mentality, and these guys keep getting recycled as coordinators, position coaches, and quarterback coaches, or offensive coordinators, or defensive coordinators. That had this mentality in this day and age when you have a stream of melanated quarterbacks making $250 million or $500 million to play the position, that you still feel that way, that they're smart enough to play quarterback.
Well, it's one thing I would do if I'm the league and if I'm a journalist worth my salt. I would contact, it's only 29 teams. How many phone calls you got to make? I would send emails and phone calls to every defensive coordinator in the league. Was this you, right? 28 of them should say, hell no, that wasn't me. I'll go on. If I was a defensive coordinator right now, I'd be like, I want it known right now that that wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? And this is how I feel about this guy, and he's one of the hardest people to game plan.
Yeah,
now,
somebody's gonna just say no.
If all of them, exactly. But if all of them say that it wasn't them, then we got a whole nother issue. Mm-hmm. Somebody's gonna say no comment probably, but we got another issue. Not only are you a coward, but you're a liar.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're in this league with all these melanated players and quarterbacks, and you're lying about your true emotions. If you don't like black people, you don't like black players, find another job, find another league.
Well, he likes them, but it's football players. They shouldn't be at the helm. Now, let me continue with his quote, and then we're going to get to why I suggested, and you can find the Coon of the Week next week. All Channing right. Crowder as Coon of the Week. So this is the last paragraph of his quote.
Okay.
Hold on. So many games come down to 2 minutes, and that is why Baltimore have a hard time advancing. This sounds like a black guy. I'm just looking at the language. I'm not saying pink people. Yeah. And that is why they have a hard time advancing even when they are good on defense. Playoffs are tight. You have to be able to throw the ball. They're saying he can't throw the ball. And he is just so inconsistent throwing the ball, it is hit or miss. Was this Diesel? It sounds like his assessment of just in time.
Diesel alias Channing Crowder. No, I don't think so.
No. I'm saying made the comment. Now this was the comment of the defensive coordinator. I was finishing his quote. Jackson has yet to respond to the comments.
Why wouldn't?
Yeah. So
you're giving credence or some kind of viability to the comments of a racist idiot. So let him think what he thinks. The Channing Crowders of the world back up what he's saying and move on. Because if you give any validity to what he's saying, any type of time to what this idiot is saying, it becomes a topic for everyone as opposed to just a story written for no one.
Well, let's hear Channing Crowder, You tell me if he should be Coon of the Week.
Because they know that when
Fair
they're
use.
going up against
Hold
guys
on.
like this, that they are much more stressed out. I can tell you from experience.
Let's get the
that
crowd.
even these tier, I don't know what else to say.
I gotta push back, Fox. I'm
What?
honestly, when I
12
saw this, bro,
MVPs?
when I saw this, I said, yeah. My first reaction was yes. It sounds good. Why is it a knock to be an athlete? That's what he is. Reggie Bush is a stupid athlete. We didn't knock him.
Yeah.
Randy Moss is a stupid athlete. They didn't knock him.
Yeah.
Michael
You're a
Vick was
stupid athlete.
Yeah.
But now you question if they're a quarterback. This guy, obviously, when you look at it, Nick just kind of hit on it. When you look at it, they want a pocket passer. They want Joe Montana. They want Dan Marino.
Yeah.
That's not where the game is. This old school
so
guy
are you saying the
thinks
guy that
differently
said
about
it, it's okay that he said it?
It's okay because he feels that way, that he wants a pocket guy. Everybody can do it. I take Lamar Jackson, 3,100 yards was his best year throwing. He's a stupid athlete. That's not
I don't think
4,000.
he's just
You
saying
can
that
roll
he
out the
wants
bed
a-
and throw for 4,000 in the
I don't
league.
think he's just saying from these comments as anonymous guy that he just wants a pocket passer. I think he's saying that he can't get it done too. That's why I think he was alluding to the 2 minutes and the whole thing. So it's like, who cares if he's a football player or he's a true quarterback as long as you're winning games? I felt like he was saying that's why he's tier 2. Like he's not that guy that's really taking you all the way to the Super Bowl. That's what I deduced from it.
And has he taken anybody to the Super Bowl and he won an MVP? Like, look at the quote, and it goes a little deeper than that. He has not been to the Super Bowl, RC.
Chan, this is the most, you say a lot of things I disagree with. This one is
should see your
actually
face.
the worst. For the first time, the podcast is on the rocks. Channing, this man said, it basically said, no matter what you do, he said, you can build Noah's Ark, you can part the Red Sea. I'm still not gonna believe that Jesus is talking to you. No matter what you do, there is no way you can be a tier 1. That is, Jenny, if any other quarterback in the world accounted for this much of a team's offense, he changed the organization, not over years, took over for Joe Flacco as a rookie and brought this team to the playoffs. Second year, takes the league by storm.
2022.
He's the MVP. And he's the most disrespected great player I've ever seen. For some reason, people have this bias against Lamar Jackson from when he came out of school, from when they wanted him to go run the 40, or maybe he should switch positions. Channing is an honest person, and the problem I have with his opinion is that he's assuming that the person who is making this assessment is also honest. So, like, So by Channing saying yes, he's a tier 1 football player, I think that's true. And implicit in what this defensive coordinator is saying is by saying he's not a quarterback. So, like you mentioned, Randy Moss. People could say Randy Moss not a receiver. He is above that. You're not saying that when you say someone's not a quarterback. You're saying he's not a quarterback. He's below that. He's an athlete. And there's implications there that come specifically when you're talking about a black quarterback who plays differently. And I think that you are giving whoever this defensive coordinator is the benefit of the doubt when they don't damn deserve it. Because, like Ryan just said, the man essentially said he can be Jesus, Allah, Ganesh, all wrapped into one, and I still ain't gonna put him in tier 1. I'm gonna say he tier 2.
Okay, it's extreme saying win 12 MVPs and now you can't do it. That's extreme.
Right.
With the athlete side of it, and it usually comes with it connotes
Do you think
black.
he-
Put
do
your
you
name
think-
on it.
Athletic
Put your
connotes
name
black.
on it.
But do you
I
think he's a
hate-
tier 2 quarterback?
He's
Like, is he
wouldn't-
your upper echelon of
he's-
elite quarterbacks, or is he tier
He's a
below?
little bit lower than the top guys. The Rodgers, there's some quarterbacks out there that I would trust.
Yeah.
To this man's point, I don't know who the hell I'm defending. That's what's killing me. I don't know who I'm defending. This dude doesn't want to say his name, so I don't know who I'm defending.
Yeah.
But there are other quarterbacks.
Doesn't
If
feel
I'm
good
down
about
by
himself.
4, if it's 80 yards to go down by 4, there's a number of other quarterbacks I would want to have the ball in their hands other than Lamar Jackson.
You like your balls in your hand.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. That's what you heard his Freudian slip. You heard that?
I like that. I like their balls in my hand.
Please unpack what you just heard, bro, because I was disgusted. It made us start a whole new segment.
This Coon cocksucker just got on national television saying that these
Proud Boys and their nonsense. Go ahead.
Are stupid athletes, and this guy that's finna make probably $249 million more than he's making over the next few years is a stupid athlete. So, come on, man.
What about his assessment that he wouldn't want him at the helm with 4 minutes left to go? I have no problem with Lamar Jackson.
Right.
Think about it. He's a leader. I mean,
yeah, and he's got versatility, but you know he'd rather have somebody else's balls in his hand when he's going down the field with 2 minutes left.
Pink balls.
Yeah, absolutely. A smarter quarterback because he doesn't want a stupid athlete trying to win the game for him. Man, come on, man. I know y'all trying to make a check. You didn't make that much money. You was playing in the league, but there's no reason to come on and demean another brother this way. Just to get your next contract. You know, find something.
So Coonin for dollars, Ace. That's what we're on. That's the segment. It's going to be called Coonin for dollars. We pointed out other coons on this show, or we don't want to necessarily call people coons, but cooning, right?
Yeah, coon.
Right. Yeah.
That was just sickening to hear, man. That was sickening.
It was disgusting. And you see, they tried to give him an out. Molly tried to give him an out.
Yeah.
All of them tried to give him an out, and he just stayed with it.
Yeah.
That sounded like Coach. It sounded like we were sitting in Coach's basement.
Yeah.
And he said he'd rather have a kicker than Walter Payton.
Yeah, you know, Walter was okay, but you know, he only had 16,000 yards. Yeah, man. Yeah.
And who did we ask him about? It was Pippen. Remember? Ant was disgusted. He said he would take somebody over Pippen. You remember that? It was a pink guy.
Yeah, I shut that out of my.
Yeah, y'all stop talking to him. Yeah. I'm like, man. But so yeah, we're here. I think that if we need to start, one thing they used to do in Bill Russell's day, they didn't let those coons off easy. Remember, O.J. Simpson was outed as a coon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't belong to the woke athletes that are competing and trying to help the culture, help the community. You're OJ, and everybody knows that you're OJ. You live in Brentwood and whatever the hell. And
it's mental. And it's mental. And he was on the short bus.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah. He's a running back.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Sweetness wasn't on the short bus.
No, but
I know what you're saying. Yeah. So they can put him in those universities and keep giving him passing grades because he was scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, Sweetness was in Texas.
Yeah.
Back when they were producing Hall of Fame players. They still could, but you know, once the Power 5 schools started taking our best players, you know, it ended up a different way.
They used to run OJ around, the alumni. This is our boy. Look at our boy here. Smack him on his legs. I bet you. Yeah. All right. So that's our coon of the week. All right, Ace, your job's to come up with one for next week.
I don't think it'll be hard.
Yeah, somebody's going to be cooning.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're not calling them coons. We're just saying that this is cooning. Yes. All right. So here we go. Before we get to Bill Russell, Deshaun Watson. I said it right here on this show. 6 games would be appropriate.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and they had a Karen that, you know, the league got an outside, you know, arbitrator type of situation.
Yeah.
Karen was presiding. Many of his victims were Karens. And she said that what he did, the allegations were tantamount to sexual assault or what have you, could be criminal, but for somehow she ended up with 6 games. And before you give me your banter on that, I think it has a lot to do to when Deshaun's people said, you're not going to hammer me harder than you hammered those owners.
Right.
And Big Ben Roethlisberger. Remember, the league was going to expose themselves to a massive lawsuit if they were talking about shutting him down for a year or two, like they were talking. Because I thought it was genius. He was like, you've got other people, But go ahead, Ace. Give me your banter.
I mean, Raplesberger retired.
Raplesberger.
So they had, they were pretty much, butt out on that one. There's nothing they can do against Raplesberger. And
he wasn't retired when he had the allegations and the charges.
Well, I believe going into this particular situation, his was going to be brought up again.
Oh, yeah.
And
those two owners, the owners of the Patriots, Kraft, he was with masseuse.
Yeah.
And it's some more in those emails that they're not releasing. And that Dallas Cowboy upper management guy that was going into the cheerleaders' locker room and touching himself and filming them.
Filming them, taking pictures. So, yeah, I believe that, and it really isn't 6 games because he didn't play last year. And you could say the league didn't force that on him, but, he didn't play last year. So that's 23 games.
True.
That he didn't play. And, now there's a alleged revisiting or they're trying to put him out for the whole year this year, but I think it's all for show. It'll end up being the 6 games, and then they'll move on with this.
Well, I think that would look bad. So you go to a neutral party to be fair, and then you don't accept the neutral party's assessment, and then you take actions in your own hands. Then why didn't you just do that in the first place?
Right.
Or they're going to appeal to another neutral party. It's like, so you just keep appealing till you get what you want. That's not neutral.
I think it's just fodder, litigation fodder. You can make this happen. The league controls everything, so they'll go through this banner for the first 5 weeks of finding out will his suspension be extended. It'll all be over by week 6, and they'll be playing again. So.
I think the quicker the league gets this fiasco behind them, the better. And they should have just come out and said, we stand behind the arbitrator, and said about her record and why we selected them. And you know what I mean? And she's a woman, for God's sakes.
You got the time frame of Roe v. Wade being overturned. You got, you got Biden on his way out, according to the Republicans and Fox News. Got a lot of stuff going on, so it's a narrative you got to control heading into the next election, heading into the next season, and making sure the next TV contract is bigger and better.
Mm-hmm.
You got
what's this crap about? Because I hear all the female pundits talking about, and the league said they want more female fans. Like, what's this all about? I mean, either you like football or you don't. I don't understand.
Well,
should they start wearing pink and giving each other flowers at the Super Bowl game? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, where does this stop?
So you're saying next as a pride game come? I believe that the league just wants more fans, just like baseball wants more fans and basketball wants more fans. You keep putting a crazy product out there, some bums out there, nobody's going to come see them.
Correct.
So, you put good teams out there, put a good product out there, and, they'll come. As far as females becoming football fans, there'll be fans if their husband or boyfriend or...
Yeah, they just want to show up and go to the tailgate and get drunk at the game and be Karens.
Yeah, but to say that the NFL's got a concerted effort to make more female fans of the sport.
Because he may have solicited a few hand DJs or had a stiff one when he was getting a massage.
Yeah, of course it's all political. And
well, I had a good friend of mine.
It's not their demographic.
Good friend of mine. He'll remain nameless.
Mm-hmm.
He's licensed masseuse. And he said he had a female. They were out on the boat, and she was talking about her back, and she wanted to get, massage. And, you know, she barely had anything on. And she kept flashing her boobs, you know, and lowering her towel. Now, this sounds like what Deshaun Watson may or may not have been doing. He's professional. He said there's a certain ethic. So, you know, it's up to the masseuse to control the room. It's like if I go, you know what I mean? Hey, you know.
They're independent contractors.
Correct. And this ain't that type of party. And then most people, now are they suggesting Deshaun was like, no, it is that type of party. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. Honestly, as I thought about it, Ace, there may be some credence in those 4 or that haven't settled, maybe because they were the first ones to come forward. But I feel in my heart of heart, those other 22 that took the quick payment, those were just latcher-ons. He's had many masseuse. I would have, if I was his team, gotten some masseuse on record, whether I paid him under the table or not, to say, hey, he was always a gentleman. I don't know what these other ladies are talking about, just so some of his credibility.
Maybe that's coming up in the future litigation of those that didn't settle.
And maybe that's why they didn't charge him criminally either, because,
Come on, you damn masseuse. And you know, albeit said that they were doing it against their will, they're independent contractors. And technically, you know, I'm sure you put it in verbiage.
Hey, you know the industry.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, hey, put your clothes on. If if they come back in the room and you know what I mean? Or you ask for the full massage, they're like, no, this ain't that. All right. You know what I'm saying? You know, right. You pay and you leave. Or you say, all right, I want to find somebody who's going to, you know. So are they suggesting that he was like, no? I mean, you know, this is weird. It's weird, bro.
Yeah, because my massages, you know, I always do couple massages with my wife. So, you know, she's in the room getting one and I'm getting one.
Right.
It ain't gonna be no happy ending. Let she give me one. So you know.
Right. But I'm saying if it's so in my friend's case, he's a male. Could he have called the police and say that? Do you know what I'm saying, bro?
Well, I mean, from a professional level, I mean, and after he heard there was a problem, his NDAs or whatever paperwork he needed to be signed before he got his massages, or maybe it was just too late. But yeah, from a professional level, from your male masseuse friends, if that's not what he's going to do, then you know he would tell his client, "This is where my service is in."
Correct, and that's what he said. He said it's up to the masseuse, and it's in their training to explain to people this isn't sexual. If you're a true professional, you would have had that training, and you're able to explain to people that this ain't that. You know, this is this type of massage. Only, they tell you only display what you want to display. You know, as far as cover up whatever you don't want me to touch, that kind of thing. You know, right. So that's all I'm saying is like I just it's a weird industry, but when you're dealing with a professional, they know how to handle it. It's like you go to Hooters, you know what I mean, and you know you want to smack a girl on the butt, and they're like, no, I'm gonna call the police. Oh, all right, you know what I mean. That's what I'm saying. So are they saying he was like, no, you know that's what
I need happy ending. I need happy ending.
And if that's the case, you would have called 12 right then and there.
Yeah. But to come back, whatever, months or years later, saying, yeah, he forced me to give him a handy J. Yeah. All of you. So, you know.
Correct.
It's just a matter of all of these individuals talking to different lawyers saying you can get.
He was set up, man, because he was on the internet. He was set up, Ace.
Yeah.
He was set up, and he might have been set up by the legal team.
Yeah.
He was set up by whoever their pimps were. He was set up, you know, and you know, black men particularly got to be smarter. You know, got to be smarter. So he's learned his lesson.
I'm sure he is now. Before he get a massage, he's got his paperwork being signed.
NDAs, the cameras rolling, right?
Yeah. So it's a different era for him.
All right, I can't wait to see him back on the football field personally. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
All right, so we got the hottest topic, Big Bill Russell. He passed away. He's a true hero. 11 NBA chips in 13 seasons. Defensive guru. He backed Muhammad Ali when he was a conscientious observer for that Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Led a team boycott, something we happened to was talking about last week. Them damn Celtics players.
Yeah.
Yeah. He led a boycott with both teams when Casey Jones was refused service at a restaurant. Let's see here. And I had to reassess. I may have to redo my Mount Rushmore because I've been, digging into Bill. So, Ace, what's your comments on Big Bill as I dig into his career history?
Well, I mean, Big Bill has a history that's not really recognized, maybe because of his era or because of his accomplishments, or because of shit. Got to be damn near just hate. You got a player that won 11 championships as a player and a coach. He was a social activist that backed his teammate who wasn't allowed to stay in a hotel, and led boycotts. You got a player that backed Muhammad Ali when majority of athletes didn't, because of his change to the Nation of Islam and not going to war in Vietnam based on, like you said, they're not calling me a ninja in Vietnam. They calling me that here. So why am I finna go over there and fight those people? So, I mean, Bill Russell was ahead of his time as far as black athletes concerned. He was ahead of his time as far as an athlete in Boston is concerned.
Well, to that point, he gave it up to your boy Jackie Robinson. I saw him in an interview, and he said that Jackie Robinson, he felt like as an athlete, Jackie Robinson got him to one point, and he said that he wasn't going to go back, and it was his job to take the stick from there. Right. And that's why, so he used Jackie Robinson as a role model as to how he handled himself off the court and on the court.
Right. So, he's a measuring stick for his time. I mean, to be the first black coach in the NBA in the 60s and to take this team to a championship as a player and coach, it's unbelievable. Even in the in the 70s, when the Celtics retired his number, he was so against the racism of the time and in Boston that he didn't even come to his own jersey retirement.
Well, and yes, he didn't care what it might cost him from white people's feelings. He didn't care about their feelings when it came to our social justice. Right. In this article I'm reading, it's an article about Bill and it's more about his social justice. But they did, mention 11-time NBA champion, 5-time league MVP. He transformed the way the game was played. Bill Russell was the greatest athlete, whatever. He was the first black head coach in any major American sports league. That doesn't really get talked about. Any sports league. So he was the Jackie Robinson of black coaches.
Yeah.
He paved the way for other athletes to speak out politically because, Jackie Robinson didn't that much. You know what I mean? and helped turn the NBA into our country's most politically progressive major sport. Okay. Russell looked back on his days playing deeply and often violently segregated city of Boston as a traumatizing experience. Racial slurs from the stands were the least of the abuse he and other black teammates received on their home court. In 1963, to your point about him not showing up to his retirement, jersey retirement, in 1963, as Russell vividly later recalled, bigots broke into my house, spray painted the N-word on walls, and pooped in our bed. What's with these pink people with pooping and rubbing poop all over the White House? And, like, who can poop? Like, I need some peace. You know what I'm trying to say? I can't poop around people like this.
This guy won 11 championships.
Support from white teammates, meanwhile, was iffy at best.
Right.
In 1961, when Russell, Seth Sanders, Casey Jones, and Sam Jones boycotted an exhibition game in Lexington, Kentucky, after being denied service at their hotel restaurant, the rest of the team chose to go ahead and play. Celtics star Bob Cousy sent a letter of apology to Russell 55 years later. Despite a letter. Despite what it might have cost, Russell probably never talked to him after that. Despite what it may have costed him in goodwill from white America, Russell was unapologetically political and unapologetically black throughout his career. In 1963, at the height of his NBA greatness, he ignored death threats when he helped to open an integrated basketball camp, and where Sweetness is from, and where he played, in Jackson, Mississippi, where civil rights activist, rest in peace, Medgar Evers had just been murdered. A few months later, he sat front and center for Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech at the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. In 1967, Russell joined Big Jim Brown and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in supporting Muhammad Ali in his refusal to fight in Vietnam. Though the full story behind the famous photograph of that press conference is more complicated than most remember, the power of the image of the black athletic community in resistance is deservedly iconic. Just as with Dr. King, there aren't many left in America who would dare to publicly criticize the political stances taken by Bill Russell during the 50s and 60s. Those 15 or so years neatly cordoned off in American history textbooks as the Civil Rights era have become enshrined in popular memory as an age of righteous protest which prevailed. Enough years have passed for white Americans to psychologically distance ourselves from our openly segregationist forebears. And enough years have passed for my aforementioned Twitter companions to assert some imagined difference between the protests of the past and present. Bill Russell knew better. In 2017, at the age of 83, he donned his Presidential Medal of Freedom and bent a rickety knee to join the ranks of Colin Kaepernick and other another contemporary athlete in protest of police murder and systematic racism. Proud to take a knee and to stand tall against social injustice, he tweeted. In his 88 glorious, outspoken years, Bill Russell defined his own legacy by remaining unabashedly political, by overtly connecting the racial justice fights of the past to the fights of the present. He was a great basketball player and strategist, arguably the greatest ever, but he was an even greater leader. To remember him as anything less than the political radical he was is to dishonor the terms by which he chose to live his life. If he didn't live that way, I think he might be on more people's Mount Rushmore.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure he's been pink ball,
yeah,
for the last 50 years, especially since the Muhammad Ali helping him and
standing with Medgar Evers' family.
Yeah. So
he got sniped. Medgar Evers got sniped, bro.
Yes, he did. In front of his house.
Yeah, with kids in the house. His kids was the first to come out and see him.
That's, oh my God. So to continue his civil political fight all the way to Colin Kaepernick. When you have players of this era of the financial stability that wouldn't back Colin Kaepernick and his fight for the justice of African Americans being stopped by the police and murdered and killed.
Over nonsense, traffic stops.
Over traffic stops, just like you mentioned in Dalton, where the young men were chased for no reason over a traffic stop, to the fact that one was killed and one suffered extreme brain damage.
Well, you know what they're thinking. They might have guns. They might have warrants. That's why they were profiling them in the first place. But go on.
Yeah. Why don't you profile them like little Jimmy, that, you might have a bag of weed
or AR-15 in the car and live on his way to shoot up the grocery store.
Or doesn't want to get in trouble at home. You don't want him to have a bad mark on his record.
Bro, I had a white friend out here in LA, and I want you to get back to Bill.
Mm-hmm.
And I would ride home with him from work, and he had a whole suitcase full of pills, booger sugar, bunch of weed. I'm like, man, you riding around? And you should have seen how he was driving, bro, speeding in his little sports car. And he told me he had never been pulled over in his life. So that should tell you something. Man, the little black kid would have caught a whole case the first time he did it. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so the fact that Bill Russell continued his activism from the time of his playing all the way through the end of his life, pretty much. You have to look at putting him on that Mount Rushmore of players. Because, excuse me, the narrative is always, this player was pure, this player was great for the game, this player was this, that, and the other. But when you get into the career of Bill Russell, this player was
he won two NCAA championships in the height of racism.
Mm-hmm. Gold
Won the
medal.
Olympic, won as a rookie championship in the NBA. So go ahead. When they were down,
Yeah. Bill Russell did all of those things. And the University of San Francisco. So why would they win except if it wasn't for him?
And so Ace, he's on my Mount Rushmore. I think I had Olajuwon or Kareem or somebody, but he's my center with Rodman, Pippen.
And then they'll talk about his stats. You're talking about 15
Jordan,
points.
and I'm removing Magic for Isaiah Thomas. Go ahead. I'm not going to let my personal feelings go.
You're talking about 15 points and 22 rebounds a game. He could have scored more points, of course, but he let his non-melanated teammates get those shots.
Yeah, I think he had a 34-40.
Yeah. So, yes, Bill Russell will definitely truly be missed. I need to go get out my Bill Russell swag, and hopefully he's even more enamored. Or I think it might have been Magic or Kareem that said his number should be retired across the entire NBA. So.
Well, it should, and just to tell you about how we don't learn anything in school or necessarily from our parents. Our safety that you were talking about, the rookie. I saw him on the Score podcast, and his granddad played under Bill Russell. He didn't like Bill Russell, ended up getting traded or something. It was late in Bill's career. They had beef. But his granddad, and I got to look it up, somehow came up missing, and nobody ever knows what happened to him.
Wow.
And he said that his family was investigating it. Now they got more money to put towards it, and they were just in the process of about to reach out to Bill to see if he had any information, and Bill passed. But what the rookie said was, that player for the Celtics who just died, like he didn't even know the man's name, bro. And he fought for your rights.
Right.
And you're an athlete, and you don't even know Bill Russell's name, bro.
Just
who knew your granddad.
Mm-hmm. Now, is this the one that went to Washington, or this the one that went to Sandusky University?
I don't know. He's the one slated as a starter. That's going to be starting next to
Eddie Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to Sandusky.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just saying that maybe he doesn't know the history because his grandfather wasn't around. You know what I'm saying? But
Beecham.
it just because the pink people on the show had to be like Bill Russell. Yeah. You know, it's like this guy's in the news cycle.
Wow. I mean, and if it's important enough for you to mention,
and your family's reaching out to him to find out what happened to your granddad.
Yeah, you'd think you would know his name, but you know, this younger generation is,
A lot of them don't care. Yeah, they only see what's right in front of them. Yeah,
it's all flash. It's all Facebook, Instagram, boom,
Twitter,
TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. TikTok. Yeah.
So if it's not in that particular cycle, then it really doesn't mean a lot to them. Unfortunately.
And he should be part of U.S. history.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think the fact that he was up in Boston may hurt his stance in U.S. history. It shouldn't, because of the history that he made on the court with the integrated team. It's just a matter of who's willing to fight for it in the future, whether children or his spouse, his grandchildren, who's ever ready to put up the fight. These other athletes who aren't hindered monetarily like the older players were, hopefully that they do what it takes to recognize these activists and players from the past.
Now on the basketball side, Ace, Bill, one of the players, they said he puked. Bill puked before every game he played in his life. That'll show you what it meant to him.
Mm-hmm.
Bill said that, everybody would tell him, you need to score more, you needed this, that, and the other. And he said the only thing that mattered to him was winning.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew he had to get everybody else involved, and he just wanted to win the game. And the reason he was puking is because his whole goal was to impose his will on the other team and defeat them mentally so that they know that they can never beat them. And apparently his strategy worked.
Apparently.
He said they had Game 7 against Jerry West, and it was in L.A. And the owner of the Lakers at that time had put up balloons, and they had put a flyer underneath every seat. And it said balloons would be dropped and would be partying after the game. One of the Celtics players got it and gave it to Bill because Bill was coaching. And Bill showed it to everybody. He was like, I forgot his quote. You got to look it up. But he said something to the effect, they ain't dropping no balloons tonight. And he was like, they ain't beating us. And they showed it. They won that Game 7, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why he's my center. A defensive-minded Rodman, a defensive-minded Pippen, a defensive-minded Jordan, and a defensive-minded Isaiah. Nobody could beat that team. They would go 82-0.
Yeah. And I got to give a shout out to Pippen. So I wouldn't think I'll be doing it in the near future. But the JRW kids were invited to a event at Wintrust Arena where the Chicago Sky played. World champion WNBA player, Chicago Sky. And they had the kids, competing and working out and showing them agility drills. Different college athletes were there. And then they had a special guest at the end. Had them doing press conferences.
Was he there giving out his books?
No. Actually, this event, Scotty came out and at the end, as a surprise, and gave the kids some words of encouragement some different information about recruiting. Even a kid asked him, what was it like to play alongside Michael Jordan? The first question. So of course he said it was great to play along Michael, but it was great to play along anybody on the team because it's a team sport, and that's what you're out there to play and win. So he had all political answers, but it was great for Scotty to give his time to the kids that were invited to the event.
Yeah, a little money and boots on the ground. So big ups to Scottie Pippen. Yeah, and I had to say, man, I had to just take my feelings out of it. Yeah, man, Zeke at the 1, Jordan at the 2, Pippen. Imagine that defense, bro.
Oh yeah.
Phil Jackson at the helm.
Be damn hard to score, boy. Especially with that triangle rolling.
It'd be damn near impossible to score with Big Bill anchoring it.
Yeah, and Bill mess around, be leading team in scoring.
And him and Ryman would have been fighting over them rebounds.
Oh man, yeah. Any missed ball, yeah, you can put all them Shaqs and Chamberlains, but 20. He was getting 20 boards against Chamberlain back when they were playing
and getting the W's.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, he said his strategy, because he knew Wilt was gonna get his. He just let Wilt get lathered up 3 quarters, so Wilt wouldn't be able to adjust to his defense. And he said he'd lock him down in the 4th quarter and go home with the W. I want to say right here, that was my strategy on NBA Live. I never showed my best D. I let you run up and down, and in the 4th quarter. Because everybody's going to adjust to what you're doing out there. You know what I'm saying? So, I wouldn't pull out my A game to the last 5 minutes. Most times I won before then, but hey, you know what I mean? Yeah, and then I'd start, okay, this is what I need to do,
That's the NBA strategy as well. I mean, it's the last quarter. It's the last 6 minutes, however many minutes of the game.
You ain't going to stop Will from scoring all game. Why frustrate yourself?
Yeah. Let him get his game on and let him get used to doing X, Y, Z for the majority of the game. Then once he gets lazy, get used to those lazy bastards. You clamp him down.
You ain't getting those no more.
Yeah.
Save those fouls for the end of the game. Put them on the line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, that defense would have been incredible, bro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'd have been hard-pressed to on that team.
All right, man, you got any final words?
Final words, just shout out to Big Bill Russell. All you current and future athletes, you got to look up to and admire the man for what he did in his time during the Civil Rights Movement, time of social activism in this country, when a lot of our leaders were being assassinated, killed, vilified, everything to do to keep the Black voice from gaining any momentum in this world. As we can see in 2022, you still have Karens running around trying to call the police on former athletes about things that didn't happen. So as a culture, as a community, we need to keep the cameras out, apparently. Support one another, spend our dollars on one another, and believe in ourselves. Everybody talks about the culture, talks about what we need and how they're happy when certain people are supporting the culture. The culture needs to support itself. We need to support our banks. We need to buy our neighborhoods. We need to fix up our blocks. We need to stop dropping garbage on the ground. We need to stop disrespecting the elderly. We need to start respecting our parents. We need to do everything we can to build the culture in our community up so we are as one. It's like Bob Marley said, one love. If we keep one love, we'll all be straight. That's my final words. One love.
Well said, and we got to start respecting ourselves. That's number one.
Yeah.
All those other things he said is going to evolve from that. If you respect yourself, you won't be disrespecting the community and the culture. Also, don't wait to become active and outspoken don't wait till after it happens to you. As this brother said, support one another when we see it happening everywhere. I don't know if Terrell Owens ever spoke out against white supremacy or, imbalances going on. Nothing was said about it during his career. Now it's happening to you.
Right.
And then, and now you're willing to talk about it, which is fine, but don't wait until it happens to you. Also, don't make the coons list. Don't coon for dollars. You don't have to coon for dollars. You're respecting your dignity. At the end of the day, your integrity is going to take you further than those few dollars because money comes and goes. So make the dean's list instead of the coons list. And those are my final words.
Well said, brother.
Yeah, fool. And I think we're going to, next week, I think you wanted to cover these tiers, these quarterback tiers. Was that it? The money, the money they're making?
Let's see what's going on with these contracts and stuff.
Yeah.
You win 12 MVPs and still not be a QB1. Yeah. Do that.
And you have a job in professional sports.
Yeah, they're not smart enough. You can't figure it out.
Man, small ups to Channing Crowder, whatever your name is.
Yeah.
Coon and Crowder, maybe that's his name.
Can you say kill yourself? You can't say kill yourself.
I don't think you can say that anymore because we're in a soft society. They get offended. But call the suicide hotline.
Yeah.
How about that?
Do that.
Yeah.
You gotta do it.
All right, so if you ever find yourself sliding through the city of Chi, South Side, West Side, Dalton, maybe even you in South Central LA or Inglewood, make sure you checking your six. Keep your head on a swivel. Check your blind spot. Guard your grill. Knuckle up. And don't forget to. And don't forget to. And don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. Huh?